how these people are participating in the process in your view, and what people may not know about the whole thing?
Well, this is a movie about corruption. This is a story of corruption. The autism epidemic is a catastrophe that came about because the medical industrial complex cannot govern itself. You have Julie Gerberding going from running Centers of Disease Control to being the president of the Merck vaccine division in a year. That's a florid conflict of interest. You mentioned Paul Offit. Paul Offit is a Merck-made millionaire. He patented, and I have nothing against patents, but that's how the drug companies make money, is they patent and protect their medicines and their biologics, and no one can compete with them, and they can charge higher prices. Paul Offit, along with two other inventors, invented the Rototec vaccine. They licensed that to Merck, and he did that at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which is a hospital. Well, hospitals are nonprofits. They're commercial enterprises. And the Worcester Institute, which is another research institute and supposedly expert on medical issues. And the research team, I've done some calculations. I think Paul Offit, through a variety of things, and I wrote an article on this, Offit Cashes In, that I recommend. It's on Age of Autism. But at a minimum, he's made $10 million on that invention, and probably on the order of magnitude of 17 million, depending on what assumptions you make. And I've done a very exhaustive analysis. It's a lot of statistics. What we have, the modern form of corruption isn't people with the mafia and payoffs and cash in a suitcase. It's patterns of institutional corruption, where you have very polite, civil, respectable people doing things and put in positions to do things that feed the interests of the bureaucracies and the corporations that they're a part of. It's an economy of influence, and everybody scratches everybody else's back, and it is all around us. Someone once said, I think Stephen King was watching the evening news, and he said, I've just spent a week watching the evening news, and I've just decided that every one of them is an extended infomercial for the pharmaceutical industry, because you ultimately get the news that your advertisers pay for in the long run. So you have the revolving door from the agencies to the pharmaceutical companies. You have payoffs between the pharmaceutical companies and inventors and experts. Paul Offit invented the vaccine, made millions. It also provided millions to his lab. He then instantly became an expert on autism. Gee, I wonder why. Why did you care about autism, Paul? Well, maybe it's a threat to your industry. Maybe it's a threat to all your colleagues. And he's become a spokesperson, and he lies. He makes things up. Ethyl mercury is a gentle bacteriostat. Children can get 100,000 vaccines. Paul, I'd like to see you get 1,000 in one sitting.
I think he said 10,000.
Yes.
It's actually 100,000.
Oh, is it?
And he said
Okay.
10,000
I heard 10.
was his conservative estimate.
Okay.
Actually, in theory, you could go to 100,000. So I could go on and on, but I think it's hard to imagine with the commercialization of Congress, the lack of accountability of the agencies. How do we stop the corruption? We all have to fight. Every single person in this room should get up and do something, because if we don't do something, no one will do it. Call your congressman, fight, get involved. Don't sit back and. This is destroying a generation of children. Half of American children have a chronic health condition. If the people don't rise up, this is why we have unusual people getting votes in presidential campaigns. The establishment, everyone is saying something is broken in Washington and we need to fix it. And we don't all agree on who's going to fix it or how to fix it, but it is broken. And it is this pattern of corruption of inside the Beltway, self-dealing, and real damage being visited on all, and it's not just autism, it's all kinds, it's veterans, it's other problems, it's endless wars, but you know, we need change. Everybody needs to fight for change. I've said it.